Hi guys, I thought I'd do a little different video today. It's my garden tour, or at least the beginning of it. Here's my starts. I try to start, well, everything that needs to be started early. Here in Nevada, you really can't put anything out until mid-May, even early June. Because it stays so cold, it freezes up until then. So here, now I like bell peppers a lot. So I have probably 3 or 4 beds full of bell peppers. And then I freeze them to use through the winter. But I also like tomatoes, but this year we're only going to do a couple of Sweet 100s, like this one here, Sweet 100 cherries. And we're going to do probably a couple because they just produced so much that we couldn't even eat them all. So probably just a couple this year. And then my husband, he likes beefsteak tomatoes. Here's a couple of them right here. And those are good for just yummy flavor. And then these are all bell peppers. And all of those down there. I think at the very end there's some basil. I love basil, the smell of it. Oh, it's so yummy. So there's a lot of bell peppers and some tomatoes and basil there. In here, let's get it open. Okay, in here, and you can feel the heat in here. It's like an oven, like a hothouse. Wonderful. So these are all bell peppers here. And these are all bell peppers here too. Some of them still haven't come up, but most of them have. Down here, I think I have another basil that just hasn't come up yet. And the rest are bell peppers. And over here, more bell peppers. And here's a baby coming up right here. Happy birthday, buddy. And down here, these are all bell peppers, except there's a couple of jalapenos. And I'm getting a new light. I ordered it. It's coming on Friday because I need a third light here on this shelf. And that's what I've got so far. All the rest I plant in ground. My zucchinis. I might do a pumpkin this year. I like the white pumpkins. We still have this one from last year. Oh my gosh. Is that not cute? I haven't cut into it, or we only got one. And I haven't cut into it or anything, but it's still firm. It's just, it lasted all year. So I'm going to do another white pumpkin, I think. And I'm going to do one bed of zucchini because we get so many of those god-awful zucchini bugs or squash bugs. Oh, but I love zucchini, so I continue to grow it. I just do it all in one bed. And then when it gets too much, I pull them. So that's what I got started. And all the rest, the zucchinis, all the flowers, the pumpkin. I do corn. I do one bed of corn. Potatoes are out there. I'll show you out there next, okay? Cowboy's not too interested in the garden right now. He was just playing outside for a long time. He's resting. Are you just relaxing? Okay. Okay, so out here, here's my mint. Oh, it smells so good. And that just keeps coming back every year. And over here I fill buckets, and I'm going to put flowers, zinnias and marigolds and all kinds of flowers in buckets out here on the porch. I haven't done that yet. And over here by the pond, there's all kinds of little marigolds, and there's zinnias too. They come up later. But I've got all kinds of marigold starts all throughout here. A lot. I might have to thin them. But they go all around the pond, and this whole thing will be filled with flowers pretty soon. And here is my purple coneflower, or echinacea, and it keeps coming back every year. And I'm not sure what these are. They could be calendula, but I don't think so. We'll see. If it's a weed, I'll pull it. And then over here, the cats like to use this as their toilet. So I put these screens on there. But as you can see, these are all potatoes. Potatoes coming up everywhere. I did put these in there this year. I just saved potatoes, and I put them in a drawer and let them sprout real good, and I planted them. And this is our compost beds. And we have 2 more compost beds over here. I need to spread all of that throughout the beds. And over here we're going to put all the tomatoes, and there'll be flowers coming up. Zinnias and marigolds and calendulas from last year. They'll be coming up. And these are carnations. They come out. They are so beautiful, and they smell so good. And they come back every year. And there's gladiolas. Here's my sage. There's more gladiolas. Here's my chives. They're starting to bloom, so I'm going to be cutting those back. And it comes back every year. And down here I planted some bunching onions, but there's parsley growing all over through it. So we'll see how it does. And there's marigolds in there too. But I do see some of those bunching onions come up. And here's my chamomile. And there's a few spots I'm going to leave, but the rest I'm not going to water, and they'll die. Because once you plant chamomile anywhere, those little seeds will go everywhere, and they're invasive. They'll be everywhere. And there's my oregano, and you got to cut that back all of the time too. It'll get huge. And I did carrots in here, which they never do very good for me. I think I have a couple of them right there. I think there might be a couple of them coming up. And I planted mint here one time, and I can't get rid of it, you guys. Another invasive. That's why I put it in the pot. And there's my green onion, which I just buy green onion from the store. And then I cut the tops off and I plant the roots, and all year long you have green onion. And here's some peas, sweet peas I put in. There's more gladiolas. And all this will be filled with flowers and tomatoes soon. Here's my lavender. It comes back every year. It's my lovely lavender. And these are all the beds. That one down by the chickens, I think I'm gonna plant the zucchini so I can throw all the squash bugs to the chickens to eat. And then these will be bell peppers. I planted onions in here. This is all filled with onions. They're starting to come up. I don't know if you can see them, but they're starting to come up in there. And I planted onions in here too. This is my son's bed. I don't know what he's gonna do with it. And I put calendula in here. They'll be coming up. This is just a daisy, I think. But there'll be calendula coming up. I like to make calendula salve and calendula lotion. And I got some more peas over here, sweet peas. Flowers I planted in there, they'll be coming up. And over here is my winter spinach. I don't know if you can see it through the screen, but it's all under there. I put the screens on to try to keep the cats out of it. It helps. And this is all lettuce. And peekaboo! Peekaboo! Cowboy likes to garden too. He's quite the gardener. He likes to jump in the beds and play. He helps me weed. So there's the chickens. The reason I keep all those buckets up there is because they stand up there and poop all over. So they don't get up there with the buckets there, but they have 2 houses to go in and they have their pole. Well, they're spoiled little girls. I have a sunflower coming up right there. I'm cutting the sunflowers back this year because they have like a trunk that you have to saw down and it's just too much. They're beautiful though. And here's my fairy garden. Those are daisies. And I can't remember what that is. It's a bulb coming in right there. Where is it? Right there. Right there. And I think those are poppies. And I can't remember what this is. It won't come to me. One of you will know. It comes back every year. It's beautiful. What is it? I can't think of it. And I got another one over there. And in here I'm going to put the corn. Over here more bell peppers. And over here the sweet 100s. And there's the kitty bitty diddy bitty. What are you doing, Mama? What are you doing? She loves the sunshine. And over here we call it the berry area. And it's just we like to sit out here and do a fire pit. And we have strawberries, lots of strawberries coming back there. And grapes back there. Raspberries over here, yum. More raspberries coming in over here. I let them go. I pulled a couple of them. And there's a blueberry over there, but I think it's dead. And there's our cherry tree, which we got cherries this year. There's a few cherries in there. It froze late. So everything that was already bloomed on the trees, they're gone. So this was in full bloom. This is apricot, and it was in full bloom when it froze. So I don't think we're getting any apricot. And the plums have aphids, really bad aphids this year. But there's a few plums on them. Here's one of them, really bad aphids this year. Last year I used neem oil on them and it worked. We got so many plums last year. This one's not doing too bad. But you can see in the little leaves curled up, there's little aphids in there. But there's little plums on here. See, you can probably see some in there. There's some plums back there. Yeah. And then we have a peach tree way over there by the wheelbarrow. And it's got some peaches on it. And there's 2 apple trees over here. And the apple trees has a little bit of aphid problem too. But there's a couple of apples on there. And this one, I haven't seen any apples yet, but it's not affected by aphids or anything. It's a big tree. That's a full-size tree there. And that's about it. That's my garden. And if you guys like gardening, like me, and you want me to post more progress and updates on my garden, and just let me know. Okay, bye-bye.